Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Good morning, how do you do? Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. And you and you and you and you and you and you and you.
Welcome to my learning circle. I'm Miss Connie and I'm so glad that you're here with me today so that we can learn more about what we can do with our numbers. We have learned how to count and we have learned how to represent our numbers. We've talked about composing and decomposing. Are you ready to learn what else we can do with our numbers? All right, but before we get started, let's get our wiggles out. Show me your wiggling fingers. Very good. And now shake your arms and roll your neck. And now we're ready to begin. Today we are going to be learning about addition. We are going to be learning about addition. All right, I'm going to put that on our board so we can focus on it and learn a little bit more about it together. Now, we learned about how to compose our numbers, right? We learned how to build them up and how to put them together, right? Well, today we are going to be learning about addition. Addition is a fancy math word for taking two things and adding them together. You're going to take two things and combine them to get a new number. So it's kind of like what we were learning with composing, but there's a certain way we have to do it, okay? Now, with addition, like I said, it's adding together. And there is a special sign for addition. It looks just like this. Down and across, just like that. So whenever you see this with a number here and a number there, you know that they are wanting you to add it. You're going to be adding something together. So let's see if we could think about a way that we could do something to help us remember what addition is, okay? Let's do this. I have one thing and I have another thing, and I'm adding them together. Hey, look at that. My arms look like our addition sign. That's right. So let's see if we can do it together. Here we go. I have one thing and another thing, and I'm adding them together. Very good. We're joining them together. We are combining things to make something new. So we've used our ears to listen and learn what the word addition means. Let's get ready to use our eyes to look and see what else we can learn about how to combine our numbers using addition. Okay? So let's see. Let's start with, I'm going to pick two numbers and we'll just jump right in. So let's do the number 1 and the number 1. So we are going to use addition to combine these two numbers to make a new number, okay? So let's see what that would look like. How could we figure out what that is? Well, one of the things we can do is we can draw pictures to help us figure out what this would be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my color red for this number. I have one thing right there, one red dot. Now, I think it's easier if I use two different colors, one color for one number and another color for another number, so that way I know how many of each number I have, right? And I can easily count it. I'm going to use my blue marker to represent this number 1 over here. So I have one blue dot right there. So I have 1 and 1, and we are adding them together. Now, I have my numbers represented with my pictures. What do I need to do next? What I need to do now is see how many I have when I combine these numbers together. So I have 1, help me count, 1, 2. So if I have one of this and one of this, and I add them together, I combine them together, I put them together, I have 1, 2. So my answer is 2. 1 plus 1, adding 1, 1 plus 1 is 2. Awesome job. All right, let's try it one more time. Let's see what else we can do to help us figure out how to add things together. So, let's do, I'm going to do the number 2 and the number 1, okay? Now, you could draw the pictures like we just did, or what you could do is use objects around you. So I'm going to use my magnets. I have 2 plus 1. 2 adding 1. So when we were doing this earlier, we drew pictures for each one of our numbers, right? So this time I'm going to use objects to represent this number first. So we have 1, 2. Just like our number 2, we're representing it with our magnets. And then I'm going to use magnets to represent this number. We need to represent the number 1. So I'm going to count out 1 magnet. 1. So I have my 2, 1, 2, and I have my 1, 1. Now I need to add my 2 and my 1 together because my addition sign is here to tell me I'm combining them. I'm adding them together. So 2 plus 1. We have to count both of these together to see what 2 plus 1 is. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. That means that 2 plus 1 is 3. Very good. Because look, if I combine these, 2 and 1, 1, 2, 3. So the answer is 3. Awesome job. All right, now let's get ready to practice some more of our addition with our numbers over here. Let's see what we can do with these numbers over here. I think, let's see. Let's do our number 3. Our number 3 and our number 2. Okay? 3 plus 2, 3 adding 2. We need to do what first? We have to represent our numbers. That's right. So we're going to start over here with our 3. I can use pictures to represent my 3, right? So this time I'm going to represent my 3 with 3 smiley faces. 1, 2, 3. And now we need to represent our number 2. And I'm going to switch to a different color so that I don't get confused and think that the pictures I'm about to draw go with my black smiley faces that I did, okay? So we need to represent our number 2 with our drawings. 1, 2. Now, we're using our addition to combine these two numbers, our number 3 and our number 2, because we know that this symbol right here means that we are adding our numbers together. So 3 plus, that's another word we can use for adding something together, 3 plus 2. What do we need to do now? We've represented our numbers with pictures. What do we do now to figure out what the answer is? Very good. We have to count our pictures all together to see what we have. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our answer is 5. Awesome job. Very good. So let's keep going. Let's do this again and see what else we can add together. Now, let's see what happens when we add our number 5 and our number 2. Okay? 5 plus 2. And because we have this fancy addition symbol in the middle, we know that they want us to do what? They want us to combine these two numbers, right? So what do we have to do first? We have to represent our numbers. So we're going to represent this number first, and then we're going to represent that number next. So I'm going to do pictures again. Let's do 5 triangles over here. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's count it again and make sure that we still have our number 5 that we were representing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we have our 5. So now we need to represent our number 2. This time, let's use our color red. And this time, I'm not going to use triangles. I'm going to use circles. So we have 1, 2. Now, we've represented our numbers, and we know we have how many triangles? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just like our number 5 that we are representing. And how many circles do we have? 1, 2. Just like our number 2 that we're representing. Now we need to combine all of this together, combine all of our shapes to see how many we have when we put these two numbers together. So what do we have to do to find out what we have? That's right, we have to count our pictures together to see what 5 plus 2 is. So here we go. Let's get ready to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7. We have 7 shapes when we add 5 plus 2. So our 5 plus 2 is 7. Very good. You guys are doing great. Let's do just one more to make sure we've got this. I think we do. Let's do 2 plus 4. Okay? can you help me read this that we see in front of us? All right, here we go. 2 plus 4. And we could also say 2 adding 4. All right, very good. Now we need to represent our numbers. That's right. And do we have to use pictures all the time? No, we don't have to use pictures all the time. We can use objects around us. So I think we should use our shapes down here. So let's see. We need to represent our number 2. I'm going to use, let's use our squares for our number 2, okay? So help me count. 1, 2. 1, 2. Just like the number 2 we're representing. Very good. Now we need to represent our number 4. Very good. Let's use our stars this time. Okay? Help me count them. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's count and make sure that we have the right number. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like our number 4 we're representing. All right, so we've represented our numbers with our objects. What do we do next? That's right, we have to count all of them together. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what's our answer? 6, that's right. Our answer is 6. 2 plus 4 is 6. Awesome job. Thank you so much for coming and learning all about addition with me today. We learned that addition is when you take one thing plus another thing and combine them. You add them together to make a whole new number. We know that when we are adding two numbers together, we'll see our addition sign. And when we have a number here and a number there with our addition sign in the middle, it means that we have to combine those two numbers. So we have to do 2 plus 4. And the steps that we need to do are we need to represent our numbers with our pictures, just like we did here with our 1, 2 squares. And over here for our number 4, we did 1, 2, 3, 4 stars. And once you have your pictures or your objects to represent your numbers, we have to count them all together to figure out what our answer is. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And when you add them all together, when you count them all together, you find out that 2 plus 4 is 6. Awesome job. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.